Good day, I'm Andrea Chisholm and this is your JIS News for Monday, November 17. Government has reiterated its commitment to dialogue with various public sector groups as wage negotiations continue for the contract period beginning 2015. Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips says the administration has set aside a sum of money to grant an increase to public sector workers, but warns that it has to be in line with requirements under the economic reform program with the IMF.
We have to find a meeting point that will allow their need for increased remuneration to be addressed by the various member groups, constituent groups, and our need to maintain the path of fiscal consolidation and wage expenditures to be met also.
In the meantime, head of the IMF mission to Jamaica, Yankees Martin, has underscored the importance of constraining the public sector wage bill to continue the process of economic reform.
By constraining the wage bill, you would create more room for example, social spending or infrastructure spending, which is critical for economic growth, notwithstanding the overarching fiscal constraints. So we see this as a very important part of the fiscal policy agenda.
The finance minister and the head of the IMF mission to Jamaica were speaking at a press conference on Friday to announce that the country met all quantitative targets and structural benchmarks for the July to September period under the IMF agreement. Going forward, government will continue the process of public sector transformation while reforming the tax system and financial sector. A team from the Pan American Health Organization PAHO's Washington office is visiting Jamaica to provide support for the country's Ebola preparedness plan. It's part of a schedule of visits to several regional countries. Among other things, the team will be examining surveillance, points of entry, laboratory capacity, contact tracing, and risk communication. Health Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson has welcomed PAHO's involvement, which should support Jamaica's roadmap for responding to the public health threat posed by Ebola. The Ministry of Health has put in place a coordination, monitoring, and evaluation committee, which is closely monitoring all aspects of Jamaica's response. The Edith Dalton James High School in Western St. Andrew recently received a new block of 5 new classrooms and a library resource center. The new additions are part of major upgrading works happening at the institution, which has facilitated the removal of the shift system at the institution this academic year. Education Minister Reverend Ronald Thwaites has lauded the school's management for using their limited resources along with the ministry's help to enable the project's successful completion.
You have done your classrooms for approximately just short of $18 million, when the commercial estimate to do the job was $40 million. I really want to pay tribute to you for being exemplary in using limited resources to the very best advantage for your students.
Construction of the classrooms was spearheaded by the ministry's National Education Trust, while work on the Library Resource Center was initiated by the school's administration. Edith Dalton James High also received 400 desks and chairs from Food for the Poor. And finally, the Jamaica Constabulary Force's capacity to respond to cybercriminal activities is being strengthened. This comes by way of a recent cyber incident investigation and analysis course at the National Intelligence Bureau. State Minister for Science, Technology, Energy and Mining, Julian Robinson, says there will be further training to include key public and private sector entities.
We have to ensure that the major public sector institutions and also some critical private sector institutions like our telecoms and other infrastructure companies, that they also have the capabilities, because they are also potential targets for cybercriminal activities.
In the meantime, Minister Robinson says the implementation stage of the Cyber Emergency Response Team is well advanced and should come on stream next year.
We have gotten technical assistance from the International Telecoms Union and also from the OAS to equip the facility and also to provide training for the persons who will staff that facility. We have identified the space at eGov, and we are in the process now of procuring the equipment.
And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Thank you for watching.